Hi, welcome to the Baby Sleep Magic podcast. My name is Chantal Murphy, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about ditching the bottle and when to ditch the bottle, how to ditch the bottle, and I'm going to be offering some tips on how to do that. As a rule of thumb, children from the age of around about 12 months no longer need milk as a meal. They really only need milk as a drink. So any time from the age of 12 months plus is an option for you to ditch the bottle. Why would you want to ditch the bottle? In some cases, you might want to ditch the bottle if it's become a prop at bedtime and your child really needs it to go to sleep. Because in some cases, especially once they are beyond 12 months of age, they've got teeth or they've got, more than a few teeth. They're often not brushing their teeth before they go to bed, and that can increase the chances of tooth decay. So that's one reason to ditch the bottle, or at least change the way you offer the bottle around bedtime. Another reason why, especially as children get older, is they prefer the bottle over food. And this is one of the biggest ones I do see with a lot of the families that I work with older children, is the bottle is very convenient for toddlers. They point to it, they get a full bottle of milk, they drink it, and they're done. That fills them up for the next couple of hours, and then they do that around the clock through the day. And in some cases, they even request it a few times overnight. And therefore, what you might find is they're not overly interested in breakfast. They're not overly interested in food. They just snack. They're just more interested in snacking around the clock. They're really not interested in having a full meal at all. And for children over the age of 12 months, nutrition is really important. For a healthy child, they are active, they're busy, they're stimulated, they're walking, they're running, they need food. Bottles and milk just don't cut the mustard. So that's another really good option or reason to start to ditch the bottle if that's what you're finding. And how to do that? Look, depending on the age of the child, usually from around the age of 18 months to 2 years old, you can start to communicate that with your child by giving them a choice on how they want to ditch it. And be quite simple, and you just get them to choose a new sippy cup as a replacement, and give them the power, because children, especially toddlers, love to have a little bit of control. And if you give them a choice and they get to choose what colour sippy cup they have or what type of sippy cup they have, that could be all you need to do to help break that association. Another big one is increase calories. This is the biggest one, because unless you increase the food that they need, you're not going to really get them away from the bottle, because they're using that, become reliant on that for their calories. So one way to do that, especially with children over the age of 1 year old, is to use distraction. When they try to climb on you, whether it's boob or bottle at this point, and I know we're discussing bottle, but when they try to grab the bottle or go for the bottle, we need to first of all put those bottles out the way. So out of sight, out of mind. Where you normally would put them in the drawer or the cupboard, put them in a different area so they can't go to them and just think that they can grab a bottle and go for it. Also, as well, when they come to you and they want the bottle, distract them with food. Don't say no, because when you say no, they're just going to get cranky, they're going to have a tantrum, and it's going to go on and on and on. So just when they come to you and they want that bottle, that's an indicator that they're hungry. So distract them with food by taking them to the pantry and giving them a choice, or taking them into the fridge and giving them a choice. And then with that choice, taking them in a different environment, so whether that's outside or in a different room, and just distract them. It might only buy you 15, 20 minutes, because it might only be a snack to start with. But as you're consistent with that approach, it will get better and easier with every single day. The other few options you could do would be to reduce the amount of milk that you put in each feed or in each bottle. And you can also, especially for children over 12 months, you can reduce the amount of bottles they have and only try and do it for just before bedtime. And if you can, around bedtime, try to do the bottle out of their bedroom and not in their cot or bed. So if you can, have it in the lounge room, whether they're laying on like the lounge or their own beanbag or their own fold-out lounge or something like that. So therefore, when they finish that bottle, this gives you the chance now to go and brush their teeth and put them in bed awake. So they're not going to start relying on that bottle as a prop or as a crutch or even as like something to hold for them to go to sleep. So that's probably my main big options for weaning the bottle. The other last option is you could completely go cold turkey, but at this point you really need to ensure that your child is certainly over the age of 12 months and they're already eating well. And then, in the event that you want to still continue to have milk, you could still offer it to them in a sippy cup, or even offer them like a fruit smoothie as a substitute. That's always an option as well. So Again, if your little one comes to you when you've decided to completely ditch the bottle cold turkey and they do come to you, again, it's the same process. Use distraction, preferably don't say no, and give them snacks as an alternate option. So look, I hope those few tips help when it comes to ditching the bottle. It can be a bit of a process. There is no right or wrong, and it is a personal choice. To be honest, I usually recommend children have the bottle till at least 2 to sometimes 3 years of age, because it can help them, one, fill up when it comes to before going straight to bed, as long as it's done in the right environment. And two, if they love it, why take it away? Unless it's causing damage or, there's so much pressure out there in society at the moment that is all taboo. Oh, you got to ditch the bottle. They're getting too old. Oh my God, you're setting up bad habits. Oh my God. Look, if it's not a problem for you, then I wouldn't be too concerned about ditching it. This here is just to give you a bit of an overview, give you some tips in the event that you want to ditch it, or it's causing some trouble when it comes to bedtime with either, not being able to brush their teeth now that they're older, or they are using it or relying on it as a prop to go to sleep, or as in the instance, like I said before, with the food, they're just relying on it too much to fill them up through the day. So yeah, I hope these tips help. Feel free to share this information with another mum or a friend that you may think is experiencing the same thing. And thanks again for listening, and I'll speak to you again in the next episode.